When you go on X, sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's silly, and sometimes it's downright weird. Hi, I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. And today we have an entry into the weird category. Yes, that blazing category that seems to take over the internet some days. Now, we here at 10 Minutes with Nick, we do enjoy X. It's an interesting place to find different opinions, and different opinions that people don't always share. Of course, our opinions are not always shared. Just yesterday, we had a comment from somebody who suggested that our take was something that could benefit from additional perspectives. I would remind the people of our audience that while we do love additional perspectives here at 10 Minutes with Nick, we only have one host, this guy. And he usually only has the one opinion. And it's also only 10 minutes in which he can gift his opinion to the world. Yes, he did say gift, and he's referring to himself in the third person, and he wishes he would stop. Anyways, we were going through X looking for content. We decided to turn the focus more to a dating content as we work our way through the copyright challenges that will allow us to actually complete the 10 Minutes with Nick 50 song iconic 10-second opening challenge. Bit of a mouthful, but we're working on that. We have our marketing team on it. We came across this, and whoo boy, it's a thumper. We'll give credit to the guy who said it. I believe it's a guy. It might be a bot. I don't know. Uncharted Father at Uncharted Father. The majority of porn would vanish if wives lost weight and were their husband's personal porn star. Wow. Now that is a take. That is a bold stance to take. I didn't say a good stance, but it is a bold stance. We have to break it down into a couple of components. First things first. The assumption underpinning the take that gentleman just had, I'm just going to, for the sake of the podcast, refer to him as a gentleman because I assume Uncharted Father would be a gentleman. Underpinning it is that porn should disappear. Now, we here at 10 Minutes with Nick do tend to agree with that opinion. Don't take that as thinking that we here at 10 Minutes with Nick are perfect human beings or that anything else. But we do agree with the concept that porn should disappear. The porn industry in general, there's plenty of studies out there showing the damage it does to brains and the damage it does, frankly, to humans. Most of porn is one step above human trafficking. Anyways, moving forward. The idea that the burden of making porn disappear lies with women is a strong stance to take. Specifically, lies with the wives of husbands. Now, he went on in a reply to his own tweet to say that 90% of OnlyFans users are married men. I don't know where he's pulling that stat from, but he's pulling it. Again, he lays the blame for that at the feet of the men's wives. It's bold, it's brash, it's new, it's very 2025, and it's flat out wrong. Now, we're going to extend this to not just husbands and wives. We're also going to extend this to boyfriends and girlfriends and wives. If your man says to you, well, I'd stop using porn if only you acted more like a porn star, perhaps the relationship should be reevaluated. You may want to assess the moral compass of the gentleman you're with. Now, I'm speaking purely for heterosexual couples in this. I don't know the dynamics of a gay or lesbian relationship. I don't know the dynamics of a bisexual relationship. I don't know the dynamics of a trans person relationship. I don't know how that dynamic changes, so I'm speaking strictly for the heterosexual couples here. If you don't like it, don't listen. It's only a 10-minute podcast. Ladies, if your man says to you, if only you would act more like a porn star, I would watch less porn, reassess that. I'll start with the biblical stance, as I typically do. Number one, porn is just outright banned in the Bible. Bible says it's a no-go. Why? Well, somebody, the semantics argument out there somebody might say, well, the Bible never says pornography. Sure, but the Bible says don't lust. Okay? You can argue the semantics back and forth about what lust is, whatever, but you are it's just not healthy. Like, the Bible says stuff like that is just not healthy. When you look at a woman with lust, you've committed a sin, according to the Bible. Let's pull back to the secular. It's cheating. It's basically cheating. Not basically, it is cheating. But it's just cheating without involving another person. So it's even worse. You're just cheating alone. It's kind of sad, men. It's kind of sad. You can't allow yourself to fall into the trap that because it's a video, it's fine. And don't tell yourself you're watching for the narrative or the acting, because you're not. You know you're not. Really, Dave, the pizza delivery man, is delivering just such a stellar performance that you just are drawn into the story and the drama. No, I don't fall in. Don't get me wrong. I also don't fall into the camp that, shows with sex scenes are automatically porn. No. Typically speaking, those are included inside of a story because they're part of the human experience. But being part of the human experience is different than being fetishized. And that's what it is. It is a fetish. It is a fetishization of the human experience. It's taking our most base elements and playing on them to get eyeballs, views, clicks, money, whatever. OnlyFans takes that model, puts a different coat of paint on it, and says that it offers the same thing. But more importantly in all this, if we agree that porn needs to be removed from society, why are we laying the blame clearly, and the responsibility on women? Men, why aren't you standing up and saying, I can control myself well enough to not watch other people bang on my screen? Why do you lay it at the feet of women? This connects a little bit back to the podcast that I had yesterday where we had this sort of us versus them mentality. And we can see it coming back in, but we can see it coming back in from the men's perspective this time. How dare my wife, for whatever reason, not have sex with me? I clearly am entitled to watch porn. No, you're not. It doesn't make any sense. That point of view doesn't make any sense. You've just created another us versus them battle. Women, don't listen to guys who do this. Don't listen to guys who are like, well, if you just have more sex with me, I would just stop watching porn. That's not a thing. It's not a thing. There's intimacy in relationships beyond just physical intimacy. Like, this has been a very weird and rambling conversation on 10 Minutes with Nick. Conversation. It's me talking into a microphone. It's been a very weird and rambling conversation, but the point being, I agree with the underpinning of the argument. We should get rid of porn. It'd be a healthier society, I think. Blame lands squarely on the consumers of porn. And I know women watch porn too, but I'm going to say the majority of consumers. And my brothers, That one you got to look in the mirror because most of it is marketed towards men. And frankly, the marketing works. But you can stop. Takes a little self control, but you can stop. Maybe don't pay for a $5,000 course. Maybe replace it. That's all the $5,000 course is going to tell you anyway. Just find a way to replace it in your life. Maybe, in the opposite of what Uncharted Father said, instead of demanding your wife lose weight, maybe you take a stab at losing weight. Working out. Becoming more attractive. Trying on that shirt your wife or girlfriend has been wanting you to try on. Maybe, just maybe, if you take a little personal responsibility, you might be surprised at the result. And women, if your man says to you, my shortcomings are your fault, reevaluate that relationship. Just don't necessarily leave it, just reevaluate it. Perhaps suggest couples counseling. Or don't, and we can all just keep going in this tremendous men versus women cycle that is slowly leading us to a place where all gender dynamics are awful and terrible, and we'll continue to suffer and suffer in silence. And the sound of silence will find us. It was a song, not meant to be a state of being. Anyways, I'm out of time. I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Have a great day.